This is how to correct a payroll check that's been posted already in Intacct, and you don't need to change anything as far as calculations or check amount. You just need to change the method of how the employee is going to get the payment, whether it's a check to ACH or direct deposit to ACH. In this case, we're going to say that the employee was paid with an actual check, but they want to receive a direct deposit, and we've already posted it in the system and created the check. So what you'll need to do is you'll first need to go and void that check out. So what I'm going to take a look at is I'm going to go into my time and expense, and I'm just going to take a look at posted payments that have already happened in the system. And you can see right in here, you can see payments, payment method ACH. So let's go look at my check, all my different checks one. And let's say that we need to redo Randy's payment here on 11/28/6/21. So I'm just going to kind of make a note of the amount and the date to make sure that I void the right check. There's probably a check record on here too if we want to add it. But I have the date, I have the amount, I have the employee. I should be able to find it from there. So what you're going to do in that sense now is you're going to come over to cash management, and you're going to go take a look at your bank register. You can, in this case, look at the check register because it's just a check. But in most cases, I like to select bank because it'll show you direct deposits and checks. So if we go into bank here, I would just range the date of the check to make it a little easier to find it. So for example, this one is 11/28. So I'm just going to say 11/28 to 11/20. Oops, sorry, to 11/28. And I'm going to click view. And now you should see all the checks here, and you'll see right next to the check where you can void it right from this bank register, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to come into here and void Randy's check for 6/21. So I'm going to go ahead and click void. When I do that, some options come up here. I'm going to maximize this screen, and very important to use the same date as the payment date for the void, so you're in and out is right next to each other. So the date was 11/28. So I'm in demo data here, but yours will probably be more current. 11/28. You could put a memo on it, wants a direct deposit, something like that. The key part is right here. What you do not want to do is check this reverse button here, because that would reverse the expense entry over in time and expense, and you'd have to redo that amount or take it back to payroll. But if you did want to kind of wipe it out all the way from the beginning, you would reverse this, and then you could go void it in payroll as well and start completely over. But in this case, it's the same amount. He just wants to get a direct deposit instead of a check. So we're not going to reverse this entry. We're going to kind of put it back so we can just redo it. So we're going to leave it alone. We're not going to reverse it. We're going to leave this checkbox off. And, as long as we have our void payment date, we're good. And I'm going to click submit. What that's going to do is that's going to void that check. You'll see here, it's voided now. And if I go look in my general ledger under journal entries and the cash disbursement journal, you're going to see a transaction reversement. It's hard to say there. But if I go look at it, it's going to take it, put it back in cash and put it back. And now I did another one earlier, but we're just talking about Randy right now. But you can kind of see there's the void for Randy, which is putting it back into the cash account and putting it back into your payroll clearing account, whatever your payroll clearing account is. And what that actually does is just kind of sets it back for you. So you don't have to do much work from here. So now in time and expense, you will notice if you go into pending reimbursements that if we search through this, we should find, and let me put in that date, 11/28/24, 2024. Maybe it was a different reimbursement date, but let's do a sort. Greg here, Dennis. Was it Dennis or Jose? Anyways, it should show in pending here. Sorry, it won't be in here yet, pending reimbursements, because we didn't select it through. But what you'll be able to do now is you'll be able to go right back into time and expense and go into select expenses to reimburse. But before we do that, we need to change the default settings for the employee. Because right now, that employee is set up to receive a check. So we need to go into Randy right here and go into edit and make sure his reimbursement now, because he wants an ACH, a direct deposit, make sure you switch this preferred payment method. Even if it's temporarily, you're going to need to switch it before you select it. So you'll come over to here and you'll go through and change that to ACH for the preferred method. And then you'll enable ACH payments, and you'll need to make sure the banking information is all filled in, which we already had one stored for this employee. So I'm good. And I'm just going to go ahead and click save. So now that this employee is set up as ACH, now you could just follow your normal payroll process, and it's basically at the point of select expenses to reimburse. So if I come over to here, I could filter the employee if I wanted to, but what I need to do is say ACH, and I am going to fill in the expense report date, just because of my demo data. I might have a ton of stuff in here, but I'm just going to go November 28th. You don't need to. You can just say ACH. And then click list, and it should show up here for us. And so you see I have Randy right here, and he does come up as eligible for ACH. So if you don't see them here, chances are you forgot to change it in their employee file. So at this point, it's your normal payroll workflow. You're going to say amount to pay. You're going to make sure your payment date is correct. So, is it now today because you're sending it to the bank today? Is it 11/28 because you already did it manually? Whatever that case is, this is the case. It's going to come out of the bank and out of the accounting record. So make sure you do this accordingly, just like your normal payroll run would be. I'm going to say 11/28 just to keep my records in line. And that's the bank account. And I'm just going to click save. So then basically it becomes your next steps in payroll. We'll just finish it out, where you're going to come in, and now you can, if you do need to generate that ACH through, well, you do for posting purposes, whether you already put it to the bank or not. But there's Randy, and I'm going to take it through and generate the file. Shows up here. And then if this is where you download your file and upload that to the bank. And when it goes through, you'll click confirm. And that's when it will make your posting back to General Ledger and create that and take it out of the cash account under cash disbursements. And that will complete the process. 11/28. Let me sort here by 11/28. And you'll see here, we should have a payment in here if I did that correctly. Let's see. Make sure that did go through. Confirmed. So that did get put through the system. So I should have a bank for it. Payment date 11/28. Let's try that one more time. But that will work as normal in your process here. Cash disbursement. And actually it would be today's date. Well, I'd have to look through here, but it is in here somewhere. We'll find it, but that should complete the process. So basically it's void the check, don't reverse the expense payment. Then you can go back in, change your employee record in the reimbursement information tab to be what the payment should be. And then you could select expenses to pay and take it through your normal process. You should be good to go. Thank you for watching.